What should I do in an emergency situation when I need to take my dog with a serious car-based anxiety in the car?
Put it in a crate.
You should put it in the car. You take
Or
it. You know what I
just
mean?
put it
Like
in the
you
car,
put
yeah.
it in the car and you
Yeah.
go where you need to go. Like
Yeah.
how? So this is where I need context,
Yeah.
right? What is the serious car-based anxiety?
Yeah.
Is it just the dog freaks out and screams and tries to like crawl into the front seat and stuff like that? Is it
probably.
the dog gets car sick? Because I mean, really, those are the only two things that it could be.
Yeah. I'm guessing it.
You know, like I don't think this dog is just gonna like keel over and die if you stick it in the car, like from its anxiety.
Yeah.
You know, like if you have an emergency, you put the dog in the car and you take it where you need to go, and you figure out a way if the dog is bouncing all over the place to restrain it, like stick it in a crate or seatbelt harness or something like that, so the dog can't move around all over the place and stuff. But more importantly, why are you waiting until it's an emergency situation before you work through your dog's car anxiety?
Yeah.
You know what you do is you work through the car anxiety now so that if you run into an emergency situation, it's not a big deal.
Yeah. Exactly. I don't know. That's a weird one. Like,
I'm feeling spicy today, Josh.
it's those jalapenos. But like, yeah, I mean, if you're already like worried about it now, just start working through it now.
on it.
Yeah.
So again, breaking that down further here, you have basically two types of car anxiety you could have, right? You have the more behavioral car anxiety, which is what most people think of when they say stuff like this, which is the dog is screaming and barking and climbing all over the place and jumping from place to place and this and that. And then you have like what I would consider the deep-rooted car anxiety, which is basically the dog just lays there and shakes and like vomits.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it gets really over.
Just gets very, we'll say car sick, right?
Yeah.
And that one is that one's more like, that's more motion sickness based than anything, you know? Because the dog is not moving around. They're just like, fuck. It's like probably what I look like when I get off of a roller coaster, you know? Like, oh, I don't feel very good. Oh, I'm going to throw up, this, that, you know?
Yeah.
That's kind of what that one is. And in that one, there's only so much you're going to do about it. But listen, if it's an emergency situation, you put the dog in the car and you take them somewhere. I mean, it's like I said, like they're not going to die from it, you know, like they're going to be okay, you know. And typically speaking, a lot of those dogs, like if you have an emergency, you need to drive 4 hours with the dog. Like after the first hour, they're going to kind of settle a little bit more into it, you know.
Yeah.
The behavioral one, though, you could work away through right now. Right now. Here's what I want you to do. Buy an e-collar. Put it on your dog. Have it set fairly high. If the dog tries to jump in the front seat, you correct him for it. You stick him in the back seat. If the dog tries to jump in the front seat again, you correct him for it. You stick him in the back seat. You don't let them sit in the fucking front with you. How many times do you see that? You're driving down the street, dogs in the person's lap, dogs in the passenger seat. So like, do you know how dangerous that is?
So dangerous.
So dangerous. Or I see this one all the time too. Owner sits in the back with the dog.
Yeah.
They're like, they get anxious. I need to be
Come
back
on.
here with them.
Yeah.
You consoling the behavior will not stop it and will make it worse. You're
Yeah.
catering to the dog. The dog needs to learn to chill back there by itself.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, I was told, put your seatbelt on, sit down, shut up.
Basically.
The car is not for entertainment purposes.
No.
The car is for transportation, right? We look at the cars, we're going for joyrides. My dog loves going for car rides. I don't care if they love going for car rides. Roll your windows up, set your boundary of where the dog needs to be, correct them if they get outside of that boundary. If they're pacing around back there, correct them again for it because they're cycling in an anxious headspace. If they're freaking out the window at stuff, you need to correct them for it.
Yeah.
You start setting boundaries. The reason why I see so much car anxiety like this is because the car is one of the few places in our day-to-day where there's zero structure, zero rules, zero accountability.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So because of that, these dogs just get themselves freaking spun up, right? They just get amped the fuck up and they can't control it. And they're just like, we're in the car. Woo! Let me stick half my body out the window. And let me bark. Hey, right? Like, it's just like they just get crazy. You know? They just get absolutely bonkers crazy. We have a dog right now, Duke, Deaf Duke. I posted a YouTube video of him the other day, right? One of their owners' big things was massive car anxiety, I think they said, right? Massive car anxiety. He's horrendous in the car. Guess what I did? We stuck him in the car. We went for like a 10-minute drive. Very first thing I did, corrected him super high for pacing around in the back seat. Then I corrected him super high for trying to jump into the front seat. Then what I did is I put him into a down command and I corrected him super firmly for not holding that down. And guess what? Within like 2 minutes, he was a freaking angel in that car.
Yep.
Literally, dude, freaking angel in that car. And in their questionnaire, that was like their big thing. Was like car, bad in the car.
Bad in the car.
Right? Guess what we did? We set some rules, we set some boundaries, we put some discipline in place, and he was great in the car. And then when I went to go do it the next day, we didn't even need to correct for any of it. Gave him that down, popped into that down, good to go.
Yeah.
Put some structure in place. Work on this stuff now, and don't wait until things are a problem, right? That's like people that wait until their aggressive dog gets out of the house and attacks another dog or attacks their guest that comes over before they're like, oh yeah, that problem we had, 2 years ago. Oh, well, maybe we should work on it now.
Like, oops. Duh.
Too late.